At some point, you're going to have to start being yourself. That's what you've been running from your whole life. Not running. That's what you've been turning away from your whole life. Society provides information via worlds within worlds, via the collective unconscious neural network, which is fed information from other collective unconscious networks. And our social world, and then our very local world, and then our little groupings of our friends or school or occupational worlds, and then our family world, and then our singular internal world, all basically repeat the same information to us over and over and over again. And that information is shown in many, many different ways, as number is a representation of letter, math is a representation of language, and as letter is a representation of symbol, and as symbol is a representation of intent, and as intent is a representation of resonance. And therefore, everything is an intent to communicate core resonance, which is can be either used as truth or trick. Then there's a proliferation of information that shows up in a multitude of different forms, exterior forms. So politics or sports or whatever it is that we are looking at, the form itself, the image, the structure, the piece of paper, the computer, the talk about how great or how despairing or how messed up, one act or somebody said something or gossip or whatever it is. And your local news, and your family, and your friend network, business stuff, national, international news, it's all the same thing. It's an attempt to communicate resonance. And where is that resonance coming from? If you really truly get to the absolute core of it, the vast majority of it is whispering to you to not become the true you, to not truly become you, to garner as much information as you would like. The more you look into something, the more you're going to find that information everywhere in this world, in your world, and in all worlds. Because this place is feeding you the information that you're looking for over and over again. But the subtlety is that the social order within the collective unconscious has dripped into you that you're not quite good enough. Anyone who perceives themselves to be the one, not the one is better than anybody else, but the one that is good enough, well, they should be ostracized, or they should be looked at as the other, something that is an anomaly, an outlier, something that's abnormal. And they should be either looked at that point, they become a billionaire, right? And then they are looked at as they're the enemy, or they're worshipped. They're smarter than everybody else. They're brighter. None of that shit is accurate. None of it. The social order is dripping into you the feeling of inadequacy. And there's a little kid inside you that's wrapped up and he's been calcified or she's been calcified. They're in this little ball inside. And what they're repeating to themselves or what they're hearing or what they're feeling is that base repetition of fear. And so everything in life is built on information on top of, psst, you're not good enough. Remember, you're not the one. Stay in your lane. Don't become the real you. There is no real you. This is it. You're not special. And it's very subtle and it's very low. But for those that desire to know, there you go. There's a little kid inside you that hasn't been taken care of and is fearful and doesn't know why it's fearful, only because at some point there was an expectation that someone was going to explain, why am I not good enough? But everybody else felt that too, and nobody ever had the courage to look within themselves and figure it out. So everybody goes around growing up and becoming productive members of society, in which the entirety of society is whispering to all of them, you're not it. You're not it. You're not it. So what I thought about expressing today, what I am expressing today, is changing of the waters. You see, everything here is based on the functionality of the creative generative principle, which is how everything is created. And your divine energy, which can be seen fairly acutely via your intention and your attention, and your belief structure. So, creative generative principle, your divine energy, and your belief structure. And your belief structure is your allowance, what your divine energy allows you to perceive, allows you to accept may be possible, allows you to focus on, allows limits for your safety, and allows yourself to then go beyond those limits in pursuit of your mastery. So you are divine, limitless spirit energy. This place, not this world in definition, because worlds are basically individual frequencies of themselves. Like you live in your own world. Then there's a greater collective unconscious world that is a world of many worlds put together. But before all that, there is a magical realm of the natural world, the natural existence here, nature, that has already created and is working with you constantly in everything. So that's just basically how manifestation in this place works. You don't have to know anything else. I didn't really say anything. It's just that it's always happening from your consciousness in connection with this magical realm. It's just it. That's how this place functions, or one of the ways it functions. Your body is a gift to you from this magical realm so that you can, as divine limitless spirit energy, interact with this magical realm. Without that, you don't have the feedback of density. So your body is a gift to you. You are not your body, obviously, but you are divine, limitless spirit energy. And this entire thing, there is no death, merely opportunities before. So this entire thing is an opportunity constantly, constantly. Now. And your body is created via, you can say the stars, but the stars are energy, via the components of this magical place. And I don't mean chemistry. You can find chemistry in everything, but chemistry is a tool just like every other tool explaining what's already here. It's not creating shit. Everything is created purely based on the creative generative principle. Feminine energy holding space, male energy of intention. You can see that through your heart's intention sparking, and then the friction of those two things coming together. Focus, intention, attention. Intention, male spark. Attention, female holding space first. Spark, male. Combining those two into friction, that creates everything. Creates your thoughts, creates what is considered energy in space, creates seeds. It's how seeds create plants. It's how semen and eggs are mixed in labs or in the female body of any animal. It's everything, but it's also exactly how manifestation functions. It's a three-part system. That's why there's a trinity in everything. That's a triptych. It's also imbalance on the two paths. So you can say the doesn't really matter right now, but you can say the Luciferian aromatic energies, and then you come back to the middle path. But that's not the point of today. The point of today is that you have a magical realm, and your body, it may be hard to grasp for some, or maybe extremely dumbed down for others, and they're like, yeah, no kidding. But your body is a creation via the creative generative principle of this magical realm as a gift to you on your journey. It's also a reflection of the energy of the interior of you. So, in theory, your body is made up of 70+% water. Now, that's, when we're in like second grade, we come across something in some science class and it says water is H2O. And they go over it for like 15 minutes. You skip the page. You're like, I got that one figured out. And you just keep it moving. Water is so much more than that. Water is one of the mystical components of this place. Water can literally take the form of everything. I don't mean that it's bending around rocks. That's true too, but that's fractal. I mean more of it can literally do everything. It can erode everything, it can extract everything, it can hydrate everything, it can benefit everything, it can be a tsunami or flood and wipe out everything. It's the strongest force of moving things. It can also be the most delicate force. It can save and heal basically everything. It can crush and kill everything. It holds all possibility of existence within it. It feeds. It feeds the soil. It works with the soil. The soil feeds it. It moves through multiple stages, moves up into the air. It evaporates via fire. it smothers and kills a fire. Water is everything. So when it is said that water makes up 70% of your body, that's a fairly short-sighted way of attempting to communicate that resonance. In my opinion, what's actually occurring there, whether that percentage is anywhere close to right, doesn't matter. Excuse me. In my opinion, what's occurring there is that there's multiple stages and multiple forms of what's considered water. And I am not an expert to know how many exactly. I have incredible insight in certain ways, but I don't think that comes necessarily from me. I think it's just that I've spent enough time alone to figure out how to become a prism, and I let stuff flow through me. I let insight flow through me. It's the sight that's provided. So I don't look at it as if it's me or mine. I'm also not an expert basically in anything. So I'm not an expert in water. I don't know all about all the phases of water or the chemistry of it. I have a fairly decent perspective on how it must be without putting my finger exactly nailed down. It must be that your body holds water in a way that is not liquid. It must be. It must be that your body holds water in a form that is more energetic than pure liquid. It must be that your body is made of the components, the minerals, the oils, the water of this realm. And that there's a form of water that would be used to adapt specifically to the best interest of your body. And then as your body grows and as the information comes into your aura and your consciousness, and your consciousness keeps projecting it out, your body adapts to what you're projecting. So, say your body has a form of water that is more gel-like, plasma-like. I know there are quite a few who have written dialogues on the fourth phase of water, plasma. There's some cancer research on that, maybe alternative. And there's those that see plasma as being a firmament or a functionality of energy in space. I don't know. I'm just fairly certain that the body itself holds a non physical matter and non liquid form of water. It holds a malleable form of highly electrical transmutable energy. And so, whatever phase of water we want to call that, we'll just call it other. That other phase of water is communicating with it within itself constantly. And it's communicating, in my opinion, based on the reaction when we're out of order that we receive from our environment, which comes in through our gut and then goes into our mind and then skips over basically the heart and then goes into our body. So it goes belly 1, mind 2, spinning wheels, and then body 3. And that's how we live a life of reaction and try to figure out how to do things based on exactly what society says and never really find ourselves. And in that mechanism, we receive energy and information over and over and over again of the proper way to do things. We eventually override our base standard functioning protocol that we were born with, and we reprogram everything, and that seeps into the malleable denseness of that other phase of water within us. That becomes a fixed layer, not permanent, but fixed. And so it's very difficult for us to change. If you've noticed the way our society programs us, it's very easy for us to take on a new task and take on new change for someone else, for something else, because we are in general programmed to be subordinate. If you get a new job and you need the job, or you tell yourself you need the job, whether you're a morning person or not, you can wake up at 4:30 in the morning and go to that fucking job. You can slog through it and you can put a smile on your face. But can you really do that for yourself, just to take care of yourself? If there's nobody telling you you have to? And take money out of it, because money is an exchange of human equity. Human equity is your time and your energy and what you do with it. So you're telling yourself a story that I'm doing it for money, so I'll make the sacrifice for whatever. But if you just look at the trajectory of these two things from the eagle's eye, where is this chessboard of life taking me? This one's taking me a few steps forward in this job. This one's taking me to a limitless opportunity of me building my life. And yet we have a very difficult time putting our energy into creating this life of us just controlling us, because we're programmed to have some type of a trajectory of a boss or something above us that gives us direction. And I'm not saying this is good or bad. This is just an obvious observation of the programming of society. And because we have it ingrained in us deeply that it's good to sacrifice for what we consider the greater good, but the greater good is very rarely the greater good. Usually it's some form of corporation. Then we can push ourselves to do things that are normally a little bit difficult for us to make ourselves do when it's just us. And so all of that is held within our density, our thickness of the water of us. And water contains memory. There really isn't any past. There really isn't any future. Everything has always been, always will be, and only can be now. When I started this, I was sitting there like this. And when I end it, I say primum voltus interiorum. And right now, it's all just now. And if anyone ever watches this, it is still now. if you perceive this air as if it has the thickness of the water vapor, there's a tiny form of the same thickness of the water that's in you. It's holding memory, but it's also presenting that it's not going anywhere. That this place is not ticking by. It's not ticking, ticking, ticking. It's just now. So we tend to have a difficult time sacrificing for ourselves and a easy time sacrificing for everything that is basically feeding on our energy. And that's not necessarily a good or bad thing. It's just that the thing feeding on our energy, especially within a social program that operates within corporations, that is primarily functioning based on a whisper of repetition, which goes back to the beginning, that you are not good enough. So stay in your lane and then do not attempt to take your divine energy and focus it back on your divine energy so that you begin to grow you. Put your divine energy on everything else to support it, which leaves no energy and no time and no focus and no gumption back in you. And all of this is programmed within your past actions. There is no past, but you're holding the memory in your water. Your actions, your thoughts, your acceptances, the placating that you've done to all those around you and all those around you have done to you are just going along to get along. The type of music, the type of humor, the type of schooling, it's all held within your water and your cells. And it's very small. But all those very small cells have this memory. And if you think of this water as a gel state, but very, very, very small, almost as a water vapor level, small but gel. It seems pretty difficult compared to gas or compared to liquid to go in and try to separate that jello of whatever attachment of memory of the story that we've told ourselves is attached to that. It's in there. It's in that jello. So something I've began to comprehend is that it's not just about reprogramming this, because this isn't supposed to be the number one thing anyway. It's supposed to be this. This is more of a magnet than this. Your heart is supposed to be the place that you start. Your mind is already perfect of a projection of consciousness. So put your mind's attention, female energy, on the intention of your heart. Our body holds this memory, and so we attempt to reprogram our mind. And what I've found is by reprogramming our mind, we may have the opportunity to reprogram our body. And by reprogramming our body, it may be best to look at reprogramming the water that holds the memory within us. So to reprogram that water, which is really us, if you think that the I, that you are divine, limitless spirit energy, and that we are gifted these bodies, and that we are interacting with this magical realm. Well, in my opinion, I don't think we're supposed to hold so much information and so much knowledge as constant memory in our minds. I think we're supposed to grow past that to a place where we can access anything at any time by mastering ourselves. And so there's likely a stage of holding knowledge and mastering subject in youth or in certain lifetimes. And then you continue to do that to the point where you learn to access what it is that is required for you to focus on exactly what you're focusing on now. Instead of living in 500 different frames at once and having everything spinning, focus on this singular opportunity now. And to do that best, we attempt to enter a flow state, flow like water. To enter that flow state, we are not thinking. We are operating based on accessing, tuning in to the frequency based on our core desire resonance. We're focusing on one thing and not paying attention to anything else. And everything's easy. I think that's a hint at where the possibility of what this life actually is. And so it's not that the mind should be the overriding thing, it's that the mind is already everything. And to get out of the way, to let it provide the proper attention and the proper focus. And to start with the heart, and allow the heart to magnetize the proper intention to connecting with the greater love. And so the body itself isn't supposed to have a difficult time for the most part. Now, I'm not saying living in the wild is easy, but I do think it'd be a little easier than long term some of the comforts we give ourselves. But my point is that the first stage of this body, this life, seems to be the holding of water, and that holding of water is layering memory within us. So we don't have to layer as much memory in here and hold on to it so tight. That we have this memory in these cells that's already there. So epigenetic memory, but also the memory of things that are important to us in this existence. You ever notice? So I notice that if I'm in the garden, I have a certain thought, and it makes an impression on me. Months later, if I come and stand in exactly the same place in the garden, I'll have that same thought, or I'll have a memory of that thought. So the water and the memory of the water seems to be within ourself, one of the first stages of actual information flowing through us. And the more that gets ingrained with we are not good enough, that I am here to do something besides fulfill my purpose. That doesn't mean something else ordained a purpose to me. That means that, and your purpose can change, it should, but it means that there is a heart magnetized intention that is true, that is flowing through you, that I'm here to do now, and I'm living for that. I'm going toward that. And then that's my life goal. And then there's also the daily or weekly goal that is absolutely perfectly in line with that. So they're both going the same direction. And that my world is magnetized around me, and not that I'm giving all my energy out. And by doing that, I'm creating a greater me, which creates a greater existence for everything that comes into any connection with me in any timeline. So I'm literally benefiting the world, this magical realm. And this is what this magical realm is begging us to do. It's giving us feedback every time we don't do it properly. It's also literally manifesting everything that we are projecting out through our subconscious. And the vast majority of all of this is attached to the information of memory that we're holding within our cells based on the water, that other phase of water. And that phase is malleable. That phase is dense. And that phase is particular to us as individuals. So, in my opinion, a lot of self-growth should look at going in and meditating and reprogramming the information of memory in our water so that it, through cymatics, it begins to, so you have vibration and then you have frequency coming off of the vibration. And then you have the resonance of you, or the resonance of the thing, of the energy, of the focus, the resonance coming off of the frequency, coming off the vibration. So the resonance is the core it. And the vibration that is within the cymatics of, that's shown by cymatics, the vibration within the cells of this other phase of water is constantly and repetitively providing our body with what our consciousness, through the information that we've received from social orders and the collective unconscious, have told it, is constantly telling our body over and over again, this is who we are. And what feels a little fucked up is it's not who we were when we came here. And everything is always changing. Love and loyalty is all that matters. Everything's situational and everything's always changing. But as I said earlier, it seems easier in our social program to change ourself based on obligation and subordination for outside somethings, for outside entities, for outside someones. So we sign up for a mental contract and say, yes, I will do this for you. But when we do it for us, we let ourselves off the hook super easy because it seems for some reason harder. Because when we sign up for somebody else, it takes the ownership off us. So we just go do it. Don't have to think about the dread of it. We're just like, when we have to sit in the ownership position and in the actor position. So we're in the author, we're in the actor, and we're in the audience position. It seems almost too much for us to dictate our own lives and to be the one who's keeping us in check and to be the one that's performing all at the same time. It seems easier just to go, I'll just be the audience member, or I'll just be the actor and just tell me what to do. And all of that perception is held within this memory of water within us. So and that's the vibration that we're holding, purely based on what we've been told very subtly for damn near our whole life. But that's not how we came here. We came here as divine, limitless spirit energy, and we still are. Because that's who you are no matter what. But your body has absorbed information saying, well, this is our vibration now. and that vibration is held in the water. So if you go in and accept that, you close your eyes, you meditate on it, and you accept this water is me, but the information and the memory that's there is connected to fear. And that is not true, not real. So my job now in this meditative process, entering my superconscious and then cleaning out my lower unconscious, I would add on to that, or I am adding on to it for myself, to clean out and filter out that water of me, of my body. And by doing that, I'm allowing the water to come to a greater vibration, a more neutral vibration. And once it's at a more neutral vibration, well, then I have the opportunity to control mastery of subject, mastery of self, to control the information that I am propelling out and receiving feedback from this magical realm, to control the information that is entering back into me. And what I allow to enter into me becomes part of me through what's held in the memory of the water of me. And think about how your organs and your joints and the oils and your digestive system and your sexual system and your brain and your eyes and your mouth, how much of it functions in some relationship to the the other state of water in your cells. It's very difficult to overcome things when you are extremely uncomfortable. The other side of that is comfort is the welcome mat to great discomfort. So what most individuals want is, or desire, is to know themselves and some form of freedom here. And if you're really, really honest, society is not keeping you from that. But it's definitely hiding the way to get there because it's not in the best interest of society. If you know yourself, then you know that you're greater than everything society could ever offer as a program. You're greater than the requirement for the current age of collective unconscious. In my opinion, there will be a new collective unconscious that grows. So I'm not against any of this. I'm not against society. But the entire point of any order, everything is a self-serving system, including me, including you. So the entire point of any order is to project circular energy so that what flows back around continues to flow into it so that it grows more and more and more. So that it's automatically feeding on the divine energy of this place. And that divine energy, there's this magical realm, but it's also mostly the divine spirit energy of the individuals. Everything is watching you and what you pay attention to. So why would a social order attempt to get you to grow to the place where you don't need it anymore? I mean, it is doing that. It just may not be doing it to the level that you desire in this lifetime. It may be doing that over 300 lifetimes. And you may begin to see past it now and say, all right, well, all I have to do is really, really be honest with myself and not run away, not hide. Who am I? Where am I? How does this place work? From there, you don't need much information from social orders because you can perceive pretty clearly The information coming into you from damn near every social order 100% of the time is self-serving for itself. It keeps your energy when you begin to have the competence of how valuable your divine spirit energy is in this life. It keeps your energy focused on it. So it's growing in a perception as if it's larger than you. And nothing in this life is larger than you. It's impossible. So the memory that we're holding in the water of us is a key. It's a key for us to go in and neutralize and filter through our consciousness, through our intention. And then with our attention and our physical body, begin to cleanse ourselves. Don't have to do anything drastic, just intentionally and attentionally cleanse ourselves of that which our body has been holding on to. Don't, not for 3 seconds. Give yourself a couple minutes, sit with it, and then do it over and over and over again. And your water will begin to vibrate at a higher level within you, which means you're holding greater vibration in the memory of you, and that's now who you are. If you desire to raise your frequency or become a heightened awareness in physical body form, then you must address the vibration of your water and the memory held within. Literally go inside of yourself and say, I am clean. I am complete. I am pure. I am released. I am love. I am divine spirit energy. I am limitless. My water is raising in structure. I am grateful. I am wisdom. I am the intention of living with purpose. I am the attention of providing a high frequency of love and life to all those who enter my aura. The vibration of my water grows every day. For I am the one. I am love. Use the water of your body for your best interest because that's what it's created for. That's what it's here for. It's made to be a memory and a consistent reminder to your body of who and what you are. It's providing the information to your body, the vibration of the water in your cells, that other phase of water. And we've filled it up with vibration that makes our lives very difficult. So go in and address that vibration and let it go and insert a greater vibration. And think about how many times you would wake up and do a job that you didn't want to do for somebody else that was frustrating your vibration and you were having to live in multiple different levels. Well, serve your vibration of your water that way. Be repetitive with it. Do it every day with intention and repetition. Intention and repetition. From there, you receive competency. That competency, if you really, really focus closely, it's a derivative of raising the frequency or cleaning out the frustrated frequencies of the other phase of water within your cells that was telling your body the same story over and over again based on what your consciousness was holding on to. The little boy, the little girl holding on to some state of lack of self-worth or fear. Purely because they grew up in a social order in which they didn't understand why everybody else was operating in the same way. Nobody really explained life to them. It's time we start explaining life to the kids. To do that properly, we must grow ourselves to who we're meant to be. It's not impossible. It's not a movie. This is your life. Fucking do it. Make it happen. Raise the frequency of your water, and then that will become a consistent reminder from the memory of who you have become, who you're really meant to be in your body. And it will be much, much easier in your consciousness. And it will be much, much easier through the lowness of what you project out. Your least common denominator, lowest barrier of projection, will raise to a drastic level because your vibration of your cells at its lowest level, for the most part in your life, has been a level of fear that you did not desire, but you held on to. So if you release the fear, your lowest projection, because you're always projecting energy out, will be of a much higher frame. There's no time to do it. It's just now. Grow yourself. But don't skip over the water. All those little voices inside us, all those fears, all those incredible moments of bliss, of connection with love, of trying to figure things out, sort things out, of working hard, of being lazy or tired, or being sick, or being in the flow state. All of that seeps into our water. To live more in tune, clean out the water. It provides you with ease, and then provide the proper information into your water. Connect with love, forgive everything, forgive yourself. Use your heart's imagination. I love you. Prima Voltus Interiorum.